classic AP though. Instead of giving you problems that you like look familiar to you, they use all these giant words and try to screw you up that way. Okay. So we're doing a two-prop Z test. So two because there's two different proportions. There's the 2014 and 2017, and we're going to compare those. It's a test because it said, is there a significant increase? So you're asking a yes/no question, so we're trying to figure out, is there a significant difference? So two props and two proportions. Z test. We haven't talked about why it's Z yet, but we will eventually. Okay, so P, I'm going to call it P14. It's like the proportion in 2014. So the true population proportion. I forgot to write down the name of the plant. High voters. Of plants. Resistant to glyphosate in 2014. I took a sample. I know what like my sample shows, but I don't really know the true population values. And then P17, true population proportion, blah blah blah, in 2017. So that's just like writing out our context. It's a long context. So for HO is always the two things are equal. There are two ways this could be written. So they might write it as, or we could write it as, HO is that P4 equals P17. Or you might see it written as P14 minus P17 equals 0. But those are the same exact statement, right? Like if the two things are actually equal and you subtract them, what would you get? 0. Or look at it like if you took this equation and like solved it, like moved that to the other side, it's the same thing. So you can write it either way you want, doesn't matter. But like when you see a multiple choice question or something, understand it could be either way. I'm gonna do the top one. I think that's like more intuitive. So HO is we're gonna start off by assuming that P14 equals P17. Or P1 equals P2, or PA equals PB, whatever you decide to do. And then HA, they want to know if there's been an increase. So if there's been an increase, which one is bigger, 17 or 14? If there's been an increase, 17 is bigger. So you would say P14 is less than P17. Or if you wanted to be. So there's actually three ways you can write this. HA. And it doesn't matter which one you choose, but you could say P14 is less than P17, you could say P17 is greater than P14, or you could, well, there's four actually, or you could say P17 minus P14 is greater than 0, or P14 minus P17 is less than 0. Those are all the exact same thing, which is kind of annoying that there's all these different ways. But whatever one makes the most sense to you is what you use. You might see it again, you might see it different on multiple choice, where you have to, like, where they're presenting the problem, but if you're choosing it, which one makes sense. I'm also going to put down, like, just my sample proportions here, so 14 hat. 19.7% of 61. So what is that? Again, a classic AP thing. Instead of just telling you it's 12 out of 61, they're like, it's 19.7% of 61. He had 17, so that's 38.5% of, what's that? That screen's in my way. 52, thank you. So it's 20. Jackasses can't just tell us 20 though. And then alpha is 0.05. That's kind of like my intro. Questions on anything in that first part there? Very similar to what we've done, right? Okay, so then your conditions, so shape, center, spread, that thing, so the shape. Is approximately normal since we have 12 and 20 successes. They're both going to be bigger than 10, right? And we have 49 and 32 failures. And all of that is greater than or equal to 10. We have at least 10 of each in total. You guys see where I get the numbers from? 12 and 20 and 49 and 32. Center is actually going to be P14 minus P7. Well, center is 0. Because we start off assuming they're equal, and if they are equal, what do I get when I subtract them? I would get 0. Because, did it say randomness in the problem? I didn't even look at that. Everybody see the word randomness? Just someone raise your hand so we can hear some of this. Okay, cool. Because SRS was stated. It's totally stated, right? And then spread / independence. 61 is less than 10% of all of whatever these plants were. I'm just going to put all plants. In 2014, and then 52 is less than or equal to 10% of all whatever this plant was in 2017. Questions on anything yet? Am I good to go, or are people still writing, or where we at? Okay. Alright. So then your math part, so it's a test, so we always start off with like your general test formula. So statistic minus parameter over standard deviation. But remember, we're comparing the two things. So when you compare two things, you're subtracting them. So the statistic is the subtraction of the sample proportions. The parameter is the subtraction of the actual proportions. But what did we say this was? If I subtract the two actual proportions, what did I claim? I already claimed it. What is it? It's 0. So this part's going to be 0. And then the standard deviation. So your statistic is P14 hat minus P17 hat. That entire thing is the statistic. There's two of them, and our job is to compare them, and we do that by subtracting. And then the parameter, so technically, I'll write it. It's P14 minus P17. But that means it's from the population, and this is going to just cross off and go to 0. I'm just writing it for the sake of like writing through all of it. And notation is just so annoying. I apologize for that. I can't fix that. So then it's the PQ over N thing, but twice. So P14, Q14 over N14. And then P17, Q17 over N17. I feel like I should use like A and B as the 14 and 17 now. It like looks extra confusing. I don't know. Is that extra confusing or not really? That's fine. I don't know. Alright, so let's plug in numbers. We'll probably need a back page here. So P hat 14 is what? We wrote it down, right? Well, I actually didn't write it down. Well, yeah, I did. 12 over 61, or you could use the 19.7%, the 0.197, whichever you prefer. I'm going to do 0.197, it's just easier to write down. And then P hat 17 is your sample from 2017. So again, you could use like that 20 over 52 if you want. I'm going to use the 0.385. And that is the difference in my samples. And I want to know if that difference is enough to claim like something actually happens, or is it like, that's still pretty close, I can't tell. Because this part, like I said, what's P4, because I am the one that said P14 minus P17 equals 0, what am I going to get when I subtract them? I'm going to get 0, so that's 0. And then I got to put all that stuff in, so P14 is 0.197. So what would that be? 0.803 is the opposite. And in 2014, there was 61. And you could have also done, like if you did 12 over 61 here, that's totally fine. You would just do 49 over 61 here, because you just do it in fractions instead of decimals. And then your next one, I'm going to do 0.385. So that would be 0.615. Then 52. Question on where I'm getting any of these numbers from? Seem okay? Okay. Now we can go to our calculator. It will tell us all the good things. So stat, and then tests, and then 2-prot z-test. Stat. You guys know you can make these darker and lighter? Like if you had second up, it makes it darker, second down, makes it lighter. Some of you all walk around and you're looking at your calculators and they look like that, and it makes me sad. So you can make it darker. Alright, so go to tests. 2-prot z-test. Number 6. And then they want, so don't put the decimal here. These cannot be decimals. If you put a decimal in any one of those slots, it'll give you an error. They want the fractions that like we had to kind of figure out because they gave us the percents because they're weird. So I'm going to put 12 out of 61. That's what happened in 2014. And then 20 out of 52. Don't put decimals. It will give you an error. So I'm just putting like the two fractions. My HA was less than, so I need to have a less than sign here. And then I can do calculate or draw, whichever you prefer. So there's my draw, and I get my z-score and my p-value. So my z-score I'm going to write down negative 2.2. I know that's the p-value, but I remember you kind of have to jump through the hoop and pretend that you found it. So let me make a sketch and then we'll review how to do that. So z equals negative 2.2 on the right or the left? So on the left because it's negative. This area over here, and we're shading to the left, why? Because we said less than. So it's this area over here. the size of that region is the p-value, which I already know what it is, but I'm going to pretend I'm finding. So that's normal CDF. What is my left-hand boundary? Negative 999, and I'm going all the way up to negative 2.2. And I get a p-value of, if you want to confirm it, go for it. I trust the calculator. I get a p-value of 0.0136. We getting the same thing? Are we on track? We're good? Questions I can answer yet? Okay, so now conclusion. So the p-value is less than alpha, yes. Because 0.0136 is less than 0.05. And then remember that gives us, so we're gonna make three statements. Do we reject HO or fail to reject HO? To reject because the p-value is smaller. Reject HO. What's next? What am I talking about next? Statistically significant or not, is it? Yep, if I reject it is, like I found significant info that I can call you a liar, that's statistically significant. The test is statistically significant. And then if I reject HO, I'm doing it because I think HA is better. So do we suspect HA is true? We do. So we do suspect HA is true. And again, I know it kind of feels like, am I supposed to put context in there? You didn't really put any, but you did because HO and HA refer back to here, which has the P in it, and the P refers back to here. You just kind of preloaded your context. It is in there, even though it doesn't feel like it. Questions on anything in there I can go through? Yeah.
When you're doing the statistic, does it matter what order you put it in as long as it's consistent? Like I think it's 17 or 14.
So if you had done, yeah, that's a good question to go through. So if you had done 17 minus 14, 17 minus 14, that would still be 0, right? What would be different here? It'd be what?
It'd be a positive number.
It'd be a positive number. So what would happen then is you would get a positive 2.2 for your z-score. That doesn't matter because that's not the answer. That's just like part of the work. You would go normal CDF 2.2 coming 999. You get the exact same p-value, and then your conclusion would be the exact same. So the order doesn't matter as long as you keep it consistent. I know I could have said yes, but I wanted to explain. Other questions? Do you want to do another example like that you try next, or the template next? Template. Z-test. Just kind of realized this now, but it might be helpful to write like template at the top, because you have a bunch of these, they all kind of start to look the same. Maybe template helps you find the one you're looking for. So it'll be like P1 or PA or P14. True population proportion of whatever context. So it's like context 1. And then context 2. then your HO, it could be written two ways, so you could do either P1 equals P2, or you could do P1 minus P2 equals 0. Like, some people think this is easier because it's just like there's no subtraction there, they're just equal. And then some people think that's easier because you kind of end up putting this in the equations later, the subtraction part, so it's up to you. HA, so again, it can be written two different ways. You might have P1 less than, greater than, or not equal to P2. So there's 4. Or you might have like P1 minus P2 is less than, greater than, or not equal to 0. I know what I'm talking about. That still looks like nonsense to me. Like, does that make sense to you? What I'm, okay. Are we sure? Questions on it? This looks weird. Alright, then I would say, like, off to the side, I'd go, hey, by the way, P1 hat is this, and like put the fraction, or the decimal, whichever one you have, and then P2 hat is, whatever. And somewhere up there, put your alpha. Introduction has gotten longer. So far, so good? Then you do the shape center spread bit. Shape is approximately normal. If at least 10 successes and failures for both. For the center, I put like P14 minus P17 last time. You could just put the center's 0. Because when I subtract those two things, I get 0. And I know that can be confusing to say it's the mean, even though we're going to do proportions. So if you prefer, you could say like P1 minus P2 equals 0. Both of those are fine. If SRS, or if randomness for both. And then for spread independence, this is the 10% deal, right? So your N1 has to be less than 10% of capital N1, like the big picture. And little n2 has to be less than 10% of big N2. So hopefully those are starting to be pretty familiar. So then the math part, so I'm going to start off with my general formula, z equals statistic minus parameter over standard deviation. It's frickin' BRT, isn't it? Okay. Then we're going to put the symbols for what we're working with here. So this is going to be like P hat 1 minus P hat 2. So when we're comparing two things, we have to subtract them. Statistic means sample, so we're subtracting our samples. So for parameters, same idea. Comparing two things, we have to subtract them. Parameter is the big picture population, so that's P1 1 minus P2, and what's this gonna end up being anyways? This is gonna end up being 0. Over that giant annoying segregation formula. P1, Q1 over N1, P2, Q2 over N2. At least it's 1 and 2 instead of 14 and 17. Yeah, we decided that. That was stupid. Then I plug in the numbers. I don't really want to put like a number sign in all those spots. Guys, where I like plugging numbers. And then you'll get Z equals, whatever. Then you will make a graph. So the last test I did, we did the template, I went through all 3 situations. The greater than on the right side, the less than the left side, the not equal to. Should I do that again? You all want, I was gonna say I'm not gonna do that again, but you all want it again. Alright, so if Z is negative whatever. Your p-value, can I write NCDF? Is that a normal CDF? NCDF, negative 9999, up to your Z score. And you'll tell me what that is. And in that scenario, your HA said what? Less than, greater than, or not equal? Less than. So do I put that, like, maybe HA is less than, something like that in there? I don't know, I don't remember how we wrote it last time. If your HA is not equal to, you'll have a Z over here that's negative, a Z over here that's positive. So you'll get one of them. Through your work, you'll find out either a negative or a positive Z score. Your job is then to realize, because it says not equal to, you gotta flip it and make it on both sides. So like you might get this, like this, but you have to put both if it's not equal to. And then the p-value, remember, is find either one of those that you want, and then do what with it? Double it, because there's 2 of them. So in this case, it would be like normal CDF, 2 times normal CDF. We can do either one. I'll say negative 999 up to Z. I think you could probably make the last one. But let's do it together. I mean, so we're on the same page here. This would be HA is a greater than. You get a positive Z score. P-value is the part like to the right. That would also be normal CDF and CDF. From what to what? What's my lower bound here? Z and the upper bound is 9999. It's a beast of a template. Questions here? So then I got my 2 possibilities for the conclusion. So if your p-value is less than alpha, then reject HO. The test is statistically significant. suspect age A to be true. That big enough? Jackson, can you see? And then the opposite, so if the p-value is greater than alpha, opposite of all those things, right? But not the total opposite. Do we say we accept HO? Do not. We say we failed to reject HO. We didn't prove HO is wrong. I'm sorry. We didn't prove HA is true. We just never mind. I messed up. Test is not statistically significant. I don't think I have to say that anymore today. That's nice. And we do not suspect HA is true. So I didn't prove HO is true, but I think it probably is. I can't say it's wrong. Questions on there anywhere? It seems reasonable, I think, because we've done like things adjacent to it for a little while. All right, let me give you another one to try. He walks out like 3 times a class. So whatever. Go for it. So that's the one I want you to do here. I just mean like I trust you to go and need to go and do whatever. How many minutes on average is Jackson not in this room? No. I feel like every 5 minutes. Alex, how often?
Oh, yeah, you know.
Jackson, go.
Because this complicated.
15 minutes of class.
It's like,
So used to it.
I never see him leave. I always see him back in.
Please excuse the interruption. Right now, we are taking grade.
No, you said
classifications.
8:30.
If I can get juniors, 11th grade students.
And you're not even-
Jim.
You told us you were starting with freshmen at 8:30.
Wait, what is this?
Cigars like a wine.
Doing like a panoramic picture. Seniors for that. It's up to you, right? Yeah, like
Watch that be on PR. Well, we also have
Right.
Yeah,
Why
why
is
do
this
they
very
have-
guaranteed?
Yeah, that's why we already have BRT.
Yeah, why are you?
BRT has gotta be the most useless thing. I only like it every time I say it.
You guys are asking me questions like I know stuff. Wait.
like they have 10 minutes to do it. And then it's the next class. It's inconveniencing everybody else.
House specific.
sort of lost focus here.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm
Right.
right out. I'm still, I don't know where to go.
Oh my god. It's all in order.
You guys can take the drill. Yeah. Up and drill, so that's when you plug in the top, then you won't pop it there. I didn't say what alpha is, so if I don't say, what do you use? 0.05 is like the default. Wait, plug in the top, then you won't pop out the derivative of it.
I'm also gonna use it.
Oh, yeah, so it's like f of b times b prime.
Oh my god, he's a
Minus f of a.
I know.
I'm not saying you have to, I'm just telling you.
derivative and I was like, this has to be the function of zero.
It's not like one.
So your answer is gonna end up being ln of e dx. Or just like that. Because the second, when you plug in the e, the second part, e prime is zero, so the second part is just. The formula, f of b times b prime. Minus f of a
Dude.
times a prime.
That is all.
I think I said random, didn't I? Yeah, it does.
Randomly assigned.
Put that on your. So like you guys didn't do panoramics as juniors?
We've never
That's why I'm
done it
confused,
before.
why are they
None of
doing
Yeah, if I don't tell you.
Right. That's cool. But everyone's all on it.
What time did we get out of here?
Imagine spring is going off.
Oh my god.
And then take the picture.
Sorry, there's only so many times I can answer that question.
I've only asked it once.
Well, no, not, I know, but I probably hear it 40 times a day, so I just.
Wait, what time did we get out?
Wait, ask me again.
February.
Huh?
Ask me again. I'll point it differently.
Wait, what
He's
time did
gonna
we
point
get
at
out?
the door.
Straight up.
I saw it.
It was
The
a straight
prophecy.
face.
Not a good one.
Hey, ask me again.
Just the.
Do you wanna see me point?
I'll try a different version of pointing, see if that will stay.
exactly what you're
What is
referencing
it?
right now. But
I
I'm not gonna
know.
say it because that's like 9 years old. And I don't need to go back and talk that far. But I know what you're referencing.
Oh, it doesn't go.
Every second, whoa, holy crap.
Every second. What's the
correct
correct
Every minute in Africa, every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes.
Yeah.
That-
Oh.
That's exactly.
That's crazy.
I know, it's really.
It's so sad.
The most obscure thing.
It's the most normal class.
What?
Yeah, too.
I love the pictures too. We did black and green last week. So we can also do.
Does it need to be a negative number for it to count?
Yes. Yes.
It should be. You probably just took it backwards somewhere along the line.
Gucci, Gucci, Gucci.
Oh no, I wrote it poorly. It's gonna be screwed up.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
true.
Oh, pardon.
Yeah, I was like, the online people were failing.
Yeah, the online people did way worse. And I'm saying, is there evidence to say that it's better?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were terrible.
I don't think there is.
I think it's fair to assume.
I got this.
I mean, they tried to.
They're like smarter because they're not wasting their time with online class.
Honestly, school's just a matrix. Like, that's what they realize that in online learning.
I feel like this is all just a fail at this point. As soon as that announcement hit, everything just went to crap.
The second I get interrupted, I don't get it in there.
Do we have to make this BRT thing today? Like the finance?
No.
You know what it could be? A frickin' panoramic picture.
Freaking panoramics, starting it off freaking panoramics.
This time
They
of
just
year
pulled
sees
it up the
four.
video.
Right, like, you gotta be taking close-ups, like touching the art and stuff.
I ain't going back for beer.
I think there's a mentor thing today. Is anybody in the mentoring?
I got feelings for
Yeah,
at least
there's
three.
See how you doing your tea stuff today?
There's multiple things.
Everything you're
doing.
doing,
I just don't know what to do. Poetry project.
They were like, please come down
There's
if you're
student
a
council
senior.
today, and then there's also. No, student council.
Some like senior.
Is it next week? I know that one. I know that one.
Well,
Yes.
like, Sarah, what's next week? We'll have a student council meeting. See, we'll have 5 BRTs where we do absolutely nothing, and then there's one BRT month where they schedule everything.
We have like 7 days.
And this is the one
And
I
like,
need
there's like
BRT.
literally every other BRT before that, nothing.
Would you
They
do
canceled the last one and now they're
Would you be
making
mad
this
if I
one.
really put the rate? They want us to do financial stuff. I want to.
Like, with like 30 people around, yeah.
Oh, I guess it's valid. I wouldn't do it to you.
Oh, I was about to say, where's my
This is actually flipping someone off the channel. Gage, am I flipping you off?
Chinese, Japanese, or American. You're not a real one if you don't know
Hey,
the
who?
method like that.
Oh.
Hi, Anna.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
I want to find a way to just not have to do the fundamental theory of calculus. You did not like that one.
I do not.
Played Blast last night at Chestnut for like, it was like an hour and a half long meeting. Really? Well, maybe an hour. We did. It was back and forth. It was- What? What? Close.
on the floor.
Sorry, bro. I'm just trying to look at.
He's not even there.
Whoa, not that one.
Oh, it's FFF.
That's not FFA.
Oh wait, no, it's just FFA.
It was tomorrow. Country versus country club. Friday is blue. Here, we can do all of them. We can do all of them. Country.
Your cowboy boots, you have American.
You should dress him like her. I should dress him like her.
You should be.
Okay.
You should be the horse.
Your sister got me. Ever since she sent me that message, I was like,
Yeah, I think I dropped some.
I don't.
where'd you came from?
You got
Weird
that
jacket.
media center.
Yeah, I didn't even know you're not.
My mom.
Are you trying to support me?
What?
She wants to go to Germany.
She said go back where it came from.
Everything is so bright. Oh, I don't see you say anything odd over here. French class, we're going.
Please excuse the interruption. Can I get all sophomores? All sophomores.
Are you a sophomore?
Oh,
What year? You're a junior?
yeah,
Oh, so it's just me and you hanging out?
yeah, I guess so.
How long? So you just did your panoramic picture?
Yeah,
How long did it take?
like, not that
That
long.
was just like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes, it wasn't that long.
Okay. Jamil, you're a junior?
Yeah.
Okay.
interruption. Ninth graders, freshmen, please head down to the gym for a class portrait. Ninth graders, freshmen, please report to the gym. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Davis, I will now forever be the Kanye hat guy.
Read my mind.
You got it in the panoramic photo?
Yeah, in the photo I wore the Kanye hat. Terrible timing.
Clean my table? Oh, really?
Why did you use that, Marty?
Is that typical or is that weird?
Marty, stop rapping, bro.
I think the person that sits there got called in that last photo, that's why. I was making sure that you usually. Panoramic photo. Put your head down? Wow. It's very good. It's harder to put that in. Okay, bro. Oh, really?
Hey, we were relief of what my friend said, we look chopped in that photo. We didn't know that we won that photo.
That's a hard photo to take.
So half of us just look chopped.
Chopped?
Yeah,
What's that mean? Messed up?
messed up.
Chopped.
Feel your chops, buddy. That's why I love you. You're a good guy.
I know I'm chopped. Look at this hair.
Oh, you're more than chopped. It's a fine pace, my son.
Okay. We're gonna start doing more three-dimensional shapes, but in order to do the three-dimensional shapes, we have to really know that two-dimensional, like the area formulas, we had a test on this a while ago. But it's coming back, because we're gonna start doing this with three dimensions, where we like build a shape like above it. So this might seem like review, and it is, it's fine. We're just using, that doesn't work, you're gonna have to wait till I'm done.
Oh, it does.
So we're just going back to these, I'll do a couple to make sure, but I am gonna have you name the shape this time. Especially the parallelogram thing, like people kept confusing parallelogram and trapezoid last time, so I wanna make sure we got that straight. So like for the first one, is that a square or a rectangle? So it's a square. Area is base times height. 4 times 4 is 16. So you're writing like what it is and then the formula for it. Second one, what shape? Triangle. Triangle is BH over 2. Remember that the base and the height have to make a corner. They have to make that like perpendicular bit. So it's this 5 and this 4.8. And then you would divide it by 2. So I get 12. I'll do the first 4, then you guys are on your own. Third one, what shape? That is a trapezoid, because it's got, your 2 parallel train tracks, but the other 2 are goofy. They're not parallel, they're pointing different directions. So that's a trapezoid. That formula, this is the one people had kind of the most trouble with, I think. It's just the longest formula, where you get the B1 plus B2. Divided by 2 and then times H. The B1 and the B2 are the 2 that run like train tracks, the 2 parallel ones. So 5.6 plus 2.2 divided by 2, and then the H is the perpendicular, like the distance between them. And then remember, be careful about putting that in your calculator too. You need the parentheses. I get 11.7. Everybody else getting that also? Me and Griffin got it. Questions there? Fourth one, what kind of shape is that? That's a parallelogram. So that's like, it used to be a rectangle, it just kind of got tired and fell over. So this has like a parallel and another parallel. So make sure you can see the difference between a trapezoid, which only has like 1 train tracks, and a parallelogram, which has 2. So parallelogram is BH. Just do 1.4 times 5. That's 7. And then everything else on there is one of those shapes. You got the formulas up there. I'll put the answers up. Today's a pretty short day. It's actually fine that you missed 20 minutes for the 10 minute whatever, for the parent thing.
It's like 13 minutes that we.
Paper. I didn't give you paper. She made you get up to go get her paper? Oh, wait, punch her in the face. It's red, it's over there, but I'm waiting for you. What's that? There.
Mr. Davis, I think someone's stealing your calculators.
I mean, there's one on the desk there, there's 2 on that desk, there's one there. They're just, he was just barking up the wrong tree. You got it? You gotta take a test. You wanna do it now? It's just a 0.
gonna hide it.
What'd you get for, 6 million?
Alright, there's your answers. It doesn't have the shapes, but, if you got a question on the shapes, let me know. You scared of me?
Yeah.
Good. What's your question?
This is all we're doing today.
Yeah. You know,
Exactly.
So did you guys all like stand in a circle?
No, yeah, it's on the benches, on the benches.
Oh, they just
Yeah,
do it.
bleachers.
They're like a specific party.
So it's not even like a full.
That's like shadow.
Which one? Oh, no, that's exciting.
You know, you can just
Like that was my, are you sure these are grapes? Like that was my.
Yeah, they're great. You've seen them like
Can I have, I always.
Maybe,
Because I get skipped.
maybe Camille will get up himself.
Tyler, you're so tough.
Too tough team on you. Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Tyler.
Nope.
No, no, you gotta give me your best part.
I gave you 1, 2. You still can't. Yeah. The president. Yes, good. He starts. I was just. Oh my God. Nobody has.
Like this weekend, I feel like every weekend.
Anybody got doubles? Anybody? Anybody?
Anybody
Anybody go?
Next up, up top.
Hey, I watched that one. No. And then all the stuff is like.
What am I? What am I? Nobody? Ryan.
Yeah, so every,
How about?
Oh yeah. These college teams suck. Oh, that's trash. I know you don't know.
It's almost vegan.
It's like a blood war.
What time do we
Did it with me? I had 4 A's.
When the bell rings.
It's an MF Doom Day. I don't know how to describe it. It's either an MF Doom Day or a Mac Miller Day. One of those.
Okay.
Some grapes at home that are a little more.
I don't know how to describe it. I just know.
Uh-oh.